One of the best things about being a human on this bitch of an earth is how things are constantly changing, opinions being one of those things. Today I wanted to talk about changing opinions, so I'm going to make this video a multifaceted discussion on the topic. One such facet being anime that have converted me, either from hating them to liking them, or vice versa. In addition, I want to talk briefly about opinions in general, and how them changing isn't something that shows your lack of credibility. Far too often, I see people treating a change of opinion about a show as a bad thing rather than what it is, an inevitability. Anime is a week-by-week medium, and when you're only seeing 8% of the story unfold at a time, it's natural that your feelings will change with the developing story. I'm sure that everyone who watches anime has seen a series come out and loved the first episode or episodes, but as the story further unfolds and changes, you start to dislike it. It's very uncommon for you to feel the same way about a show 1 episode in versus 12 episodes in. Every rule has its exception, so I'm not saying it's impossible to feel the same, but your average show experience will change over time. Which brings me to my reasoning for this video, explaining that and showing examples of it. I don't consider myself a great critic, or even really a critic at all. I try my best to get my thoughts across, but at the end of the day, I'm just a guy who's tired of seeing bad choices in promising anime. However, I do think I'm far better at critiquing things now than I was 5 years ago, or even a year ago. All I want to show is how opinions can change and why, and bring up the point that liking an anime is not being in a gang. You can love and hate animes freely in an ever-changing way. Your loyalty is not set in stone. As for examples from my personal viewings, I'd like to start with one that I was beyond excited about but grew to dislike over time, and that's Reincarnated as a slime. This isn't going to blow any minds because that anime converted a lot of its fans to haters with where its story went. Obviously, I was no exception. I'm sure by now it's obvious that isekai is a genre I like quite a bit. A huge portion of my content thus far has been dedicated to isekai anime. Oversaturated as it may be, the genre still produces some fun to watch shows that I enjoy. I thought Slime would be one of those. 15 episodes in and I was still a fan, eagerly looking forward to every Monday so I could see what my little slime boy would do next. However, episodes 16 and onward started to shift away from what the anime had been doing. More and more every week, the anime became something completely different until it was nothing like it used to be. Back during Slime's release run, I was watching it in tandem with some friends. Every week, we'd hop in a call, watch the episode together, and then talk about it for a while. That all stopped by the time episode 21 came out. Slowly but surely, over the last few episodes, we'd been losing people, and discussion about the show had basically come to a halt. By episode 22, not a single person wanted to continue our 4.5-month tradition. Why am I bringing this up? Because it's a decent way to show my point from before that when you're seeing 8% of an anime at a time, or in this case just under 4.2% at a time, you really don't know if next week you'll still be a fan of it. Another great example is it wrong to try and pick up girls in a dungeon? Or DanMachi as sane people call it. Season 1 of this show had me hooked. I would say I was a big fan of it. Season 2, however, has not brought the same level of quality, and 10 episodes in, the trust this show had built in me is all but gone. Even if the last 2 episodes are done flawlessly, I'm not sure if it'll be enough. And before anyone brings it up, I know that this season had less to adapt, and so pacing has to be different, but that isn't really my issue. Each episode just isn't put together as well as it was in season 1. Maybe due to Hideki Tachibana becoming the new director. If you're unfamiliar with him, I'd encourage you to look at his impressively long list of promising anime turned garbage. I'm not sure if that's the exact reason, but something happened in season 2 of DanMachi to make it worse. That's enough negativity for now. I've probably already let out too much of my caustic personality, but I still want to shift gears into the opposite end of the spectrum. After all, this isn't a one-way street, and it's possible for an anime you dislike to change over time into something you enjoy. My Hero Academia is one such show for me. Season 1 came out, and out of the gate I was a hater. I did not care much for it. Unlike most anime, however, I think My Hero has only improved over time, really hitting its stride in seasons 2 and 3. Characters I found annoying have developed beautifully, and the story just gets better as we go. Season 1 may have gotten off to a shaky start, but looking back, I think it was necessary. There was just no way to lay down the foundation the show needed and keep the entertainment levels high. The saying, "good things come to those who wait," is complete bullshit 9 times out of 10, but here we have that one time. Every season has only gotten better so far. We had one of the coolest anime showdowns of 2018 in the middle of season 3. They didn't even save it for a finale. October cannot come fast enough, and I'll be praying to the weeb gods every day until then that season 4 doesn't suck. This last one I'm gonna keep brief. Dragon Ball Super was not for me at the beginning. I just didn't enjoy Beerus as a villain for the first arc of the show. As time went on though, and we got further into the story, I realized it was pretty amazing, introducing a ton of new characters to both hate and love. These are just some examples too. I've seen countless anime, and probably hundreds of them have converted me at one point to either loving or hating them. In my own weird, rambling way, I just want to say that opinions aren't a constant, nor should you try and force them to be. They're fluid and ever-changing, and by embracing that, I promise you that your anime experience will only improve. If a show you liked has only been getting worse, don't feel you need to blindly support it out of some twisted loyalty. And don't be afraid to reassess an anime you once hated and give it another chance. Even anime I still hate, I don't rule out entirely, because that's a narrow worldview and it wouldn't get me anywhere. If my arch nemesis of a show, Black Clover, turned their shit around tomorrow and started doing a good job, I wouldn't keep hating it out of principle. I'd gladly change my tune. Thanks for listening to my rant. I hope it made you think a little bit.